table the whole time.
It doesn't really matter. I always play with them. I hide it, or sometimes I ask. What do you? If you had to guess, what do you think it is? Right. They'll say something off the wall and then you show it.
And I remember you came out and didn't have to turn around.
I hide it. Just we could have
A lot of workshops, though, that I've seen, that person will actually make up their own description based on what they've heard, and they'll do the work for you. And then, we're too small of a group to do that yesterday, but a lot of people will just kind of guess what it is and describe it, combine the three descriptions, and then
I forgot
they set themselves up
and had to turn around and there was nothing in her hand.
Yeah, and that's interesting because they do that. You'll say, okay, tell me what you see her holding in her hands. And you emphasize it. What you see her holding. And they'll say, it's a natural color, sort of woody-like, no. What do you see her holding? It's a natural color. It's kind of a triangle. And then you sit there and everybody else kind of, then they go, oh, no. Yeah, right. What do you see? Well, nothing. I don't see nothing. Point made. I found it to be effective. It's not 100% necessary because you did a good job with it. Is I strongly associate the object with people. And then I'll try to name some people of difference, like in a list. This represents people of difference, people of different race, different religion, different sexual orientation, different culture, because I know somebody in here, somebody in the room has been that object. And then when you kind of name it and hit their category, then they kind of draw into it like, people don't really know me. They just know about what they heard about me, even to this day. So they're associating with what you say when you associate the object with a person, then it becomes personal again. I was talking about making things personal and really impactful.
I think that's
very good.
That's a great point today, too. At the end, I was thinking about this at the end because when you cap it off, you talk about the mistakes people make of sort of believing or relying too much or investing too much on what they see from their own perspective. And it's not just that person, it's all of them.
That's right.
But to reinforce, but what's the mistake? And it comes back to the example you just gave, when we've all been the person who's been the object of someone's skewed perspective, and it's hurt us.
Right.
That's the mistake.
That's right.
And everybody has experience of remembering, remember that time?
Yeah.
They thought they got it, but they weren't getting it.
You're right. Good point. That's a very good point. I like that.
And that's how stereotypes start.
That exactly.
It's the skewed perspective.
Right. And you see Daryl's twist on it. It's great. So you're going to do it within your personality. You're going to add something to it. Point is, just don't miss the main points.
I'll try to remember it.
Yeah, but the more you do it, and there's something to click. That's a good addition he made. Where's the mistake, man? You see what I mean? And you throw that out there too. It's very good.
And people will fight you because your perspective is the only person. Hey, that thing is green. It's green.
Oh,
and it's and they will go to the end with that's the way it is. And this other person on this side says no, it's red. And
I know. Are you saying that it's not green?
Right.
No, I'm not saying that it's not green. I'm just saying that it's not only green. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's my point.
But you don't even have to say. You don't even have to say. Because the fact of the matter is, it's different from over there. It's not about what I think it is as a facilitator. This is the texture, I know it is. But you're seeing it here, different from she's seeing it there, from there. So you don't have to put yourself in it.
Well, I think everybody needs to know. Okay, we're going through the 4-hour workshop.
Yes.
Is there an agenda of sort that has the timeline in it that's, from minute 1, to minute 15, from 20 to any rough?
We don't do that. Not for this project, we don't do that. For an 8-hour project, we would do that.
No, but even in the 4 hours, though, just so that you have a pacing guide of where?
No.
Okay.
No. It's all up here. We go through each exercise. And we're going to get through. We don't use timelines. We know primary exercises we're going to do.
Right.
And then.
So I was just putting this up against the introduction. You said, knowing that we've got 4 hours, and you said how many breaks do you put in the 4-hour block?
At the most, one.
At the most, one. Okay, 1 5-minute break. Okay, in the 4 hours. Okay, that's cool. And there could be anywhere from 30 to 60 people, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's pretty much the range that you all have seen.
Right.
Okay, so something like the introduction that we just did with your teacher can be anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes?
No, 10.
10 to 15 minutes. Okay, all right. I'm just kind of like gauging. Okay, and so what's your angle? When do you know like you've gone too long, you've exhausted the workshop? I mean, just so that you don't run out of time, or I know you need to feel your audience to see when. What's your angle? I mean, should this be 15-minute activity?
Well, you'll see.
12 to 18-minute activity.
You'll see when I get through the rest of this. You'll be able to tell. You'll know when you run out of time.
Okay.
And you have a gauge. Basically, the gauge is sort of in your head. If you put, what we have found is when we put timelines to it, we have people, especially new to the project, they start rushing. And they stop answering questions, and they're so preoccupied about the time, they lose the whole thing. Then you get evaluations like, facilitators brush through it, and we can tell. You know,
Well, when you look, like I said, you have watches too. So when you look at it, we're at 2 hours. I still got three quarters of myself to do. Then let it change.
And and like I said, we'll have identified highest priority exercises to get through. What's your angle is 1. Target words we're going to go through in a second is 2, and the 3, 2, 1. I know we got to get through that.
Okay, so they're actually so the 4-hour workshop is not completely set. There's several exercises that you must do, and then the other ones are if you have time, or
I'll show you. Just hang in there.
okay, all right.
Next is in your
Slides.
deal. No, I think in your you have this in there.
It's in your workshop playbook. If you can skip the first page that says the star is going to go to the one with the actual star on it.
Yeah, that one.
Page 2, but it's page 4.
Now, you guys familiar with identity molecule? How many people are familiar with identity molecule exercise?
Yeah, the other molecule.
Okay. Well, for you guys, this is an adaptation of that. Okay. For those of you who are not, we're gonna actually go through it. Jessica's great to run this exercise. Did you find it?
Star?
Yeah, the star. It's called The Star is Born.
It's a little slow.
And I think I've also included. Is that in here too? I've included the facilitator's guide on it, how to execute that.
Skip to this page. Right? We're going to go through. This helps get everybody moving around eventually, but if you take a minute, put your name in the center of the star. And then on each line that's coming out from the star, you're going to put a racial or ethnic group that you identify with. Okay, so go ahead and do it. Take about 2 minutes, and then we'll...
Yes. What do you mean by identify with? You mean by your heritage? Your personal?
Ethnicity or race.
Yeah. Put your name in the middle first, so everything is...
What you've been told. You see how she's
What Dwayne was talking about.
Only got one group on the You're supposed to have more than one group written down? I only got one written down. Are you not letting me be a woman or able-bodied or straight or middle class? Denying the rest of my identity? I don't mean to intellectualize.
She'll tell me.
My age?
translating the value for diversity into the behaviors that reflect a quality of thinking both individually and on an organizational level. Bless you. Now, what we like to emphasize with this particular definition is this. Is that a lot of times people make the mistake of thinking that inclusion means it's a beautiful brochure and you show diversity on your brochure because there's 3 women, 2 blacks, and a Hispanic.
We included
And so we have an inclusive organization. That's not what inclusion means. Inclusion means that if you have 3 women, 2 black people, and Mexican Americans or whoever, it means you include their perspective, their culture, their ways of thinking, the way they talk. You include everything about them, not just their pretty face or your pretty brochure, so you can get the grant. It means you include everything about them, including their culture, their subculture, their age, their sexual orientation, their eye color, everything. That's inclusion. And the room oftentimes gets real quiet when you say that. Okay? The next word is inclusion and prejudice. And this is prejudice. We have a lot of different definitions for them. Oftentimes it's mixed in with racism and discrimination. And this is part of the reason for this exercise. We're trying to show some clarity. Our emphasis is that prejudice is an attitude, opinion, or feeling without adequate prior knowledge, thought, or reason. Without adequate prior thought or reason. An attitude. So prejudice exists in your head as in the form of an opinion or a feeling. Okay? And so that's what we're emphasizing on this particular.
Why? Just a question. Why do you stress without though? Because beliefs and values are in there, which does beliefs. People do know what they believe in and what they think about. So why do you stress without adequate knowledge, thought, or reason?
Because it is without. It's a prejudgment. Without adequate. Adequate. You could argue it's adequate, but I don't think you can argue without. These are our working definitions, and you'll see why we're doing what we're doing in just a second. Next word. Discrimination. Differential treatment. Based on unfair categorization, it is a denial of fairness prompted by prejudice.
Okay.
Treatment is the key here. Treatment. All right? Treatment. That's what we're going to emphasize.
Practice.
Next word. Anti-Semitism. There you go, Susie. Prejudice or discrimination against Jews based on negative perceptions of their religious beliefs and or on negative group stereotypes. And this is usually where we get some conversation. One point of conversation. The question usually comes up. Is being Jewish a culture, a religion, a race, ethnic group, whatever? We usually redirect that and reflect. Basically, our response to that is that that's on an individual basis. There's argument on both sides. We can't answer it. But it is a good question to research and find on your own. This is our working definition that came from the anti-defamation league.
One process question about it. When you put up the word, and then basically what happens is the group who had it, they would say what they think it is first, right before this is up there?
Right.
And then does the group kind of debate what they
Yes.
talked about
Yes.
first?
Anyone agree, disagree, add to, or subtract?
And then
So
after that?
Then this is the last thing that happens.
Yeah.
After they've gone back and forth and da-da-da-da-da-da, I mean, still watching the clock.